Hi, my name is Kat. Welcome. Today I want to do a quick tutorial on how to effectively and safely perform a figure 4 stretch, which is really good for the hips. Let's get started. First thing you want to think about when you're doing the figure 4 stretch, laying down, is your lower back. So I do have a tutorial on neutral versus imprint. Quick reminder, neutral is when the weight is resting heavy on your sacrum. There's a little bit of an arch between your lower back and the mat. And imprint is when you tuck your tailbone to press your lower back down. Okay, so I'll be referring to these two positions in this video. In a figure 4 stretch, we're going to have one leg crossed just above the opposite knee. Now, a few pointers here. First, you have to keep this foot flexed. This is flexed, this is pointed. Flexing the foot here is going to help protect that knee, so super important here. The other thing you want to focus on is maintaining neutral spine, and as you're doing it, you'll know quickly why that is. It's not so much a safety issue, but it's more of an efficiency issue. So this would be your first position here. So from here, for some people, this may be enough, depending on the tightness you have in your hips. Once you're here, so again, flex foot, slight arch in the lower back, careful not to overarch, so you want to be in your neutral spine. Then what you're going to do is actively push that leg, that thigh, away from your chest. You can even use that same hand to assist you and push away. Now careful that when you're pushing this leg away that you're not compromising your pelvis. So you're going to try and maintain both hip bones level here. And even as I'm pushing this leg away, I'm careful not to shift everything forward. So I want to keep both hip bones in line. When I'm doing it, versus just pushing the leg away from me, I'm kind of doing a push out and up a little bit. So I'm pressing into my thigh, but I'm also kind of pushing my thigh up here. And that's going to give you an added stretch. Some of you, this may be enough. If you don't feel the stretch, I'm not feeling it, my foot, if I'm not feeling it quite as much as I want to, the next progression from here would be to pick up your heel. So right away, I'm feeling a little bit more of a stretch in that hip, and that may be enough. And you can stay here and hold it. You don't need to be pushing into that hand, into that thigh. You can keep your arms down by your sides, that's fine as well. But right away, I'm feeling a little bit of a stretch. After a while, my body may start to ease into it, or maybe I'm super stretched out in the hips and I want to go to another level because I'm not feeling the stretch. That's when you would pick up that opposite leg. Now, if you want to hold the back of your thigh, if you can, that's fine. You may not be able to, you may not want to, that's fine as well. Now, I'm going to go into some common mistakes that I see, some which could be harmful, others which just are pointless. The first one that I see the most often is this version, like this. So as you notice, or you may have noticed or not, let me do it again, a little bit more slowly. Picking up this leg, see what happens to my tailbone, to my pelvis here. So I can take this leg in, and that would be the full variation. Now, while that is very comfortable, and it's actually relieving pressure in my back, so it feels nice on my lower back, but I'm not getting the full stretching effect in that opposite hip. So if I were to stay here, notice how my back is now an imprint, so it's pressing flat into the mat. From here, if I start to tuck my tailbone a little bit to come into that neutral position, right away I feel the stretch changing on the right side, and it's a much deeper stretch now. Once I press the lower back down, I still feel a little bit of the stretch, but not so much. Like this, I feel it a lot more. Same if I were to have my foot on the floor with the heel lifted. I can press my lower back down, no stretch at all. And then as soon as I tuck, I start to feel the stretch a little bit more. So that's the first common mistake that I see. Everyone wants to get their leg here, but for a lot of us, in order to be able to reach that leg, because we are quite tight in the hips, we have to bring the leg in, which forces our back into some flexion here, and we're pressing the lower back down. Second thing I see a lot, and again, it's because people want to get to the final version of it, the most advanced version, which is not always necessary, right? Let's take baby steps into getting there, but what I see a lot, people will be here, and then to be able to reach for that leg, they've got to lift, and then they're lifting their body to get into position, and then they're holding onto this leg, but now they want to take their head down, and then they'll be kind of like this. I see this a lot. As you can tell, that's really not great for the neck. My neck is not neutral. So if you're gonna lift your body up to pick up your leg, that's okay. Just make sure that you can place your head back down. And you can place your head back down in a neutral cervical spine alignment. Not like this. Chances are it won't be like this, but you want to have your neck nice and long. So if you can be in the full figure 4 position without having your neck in a funky kind of alignment, then again, you're better off staying here. You'll still get the stretch, and you can use your hand here to push the leg away and going deep into the hip muscles. So let's just regroup here again. First thing is you cross your leg over. You want to have the foot of the leg that's crossed flexed. This will help protect your knee. Start in this position, see how this feels. Make sure that you're not pushing your lower back down. You want to keep your spine in neutral, and then you can use your hand to push the thigh away. You may stay here for a few breaths. If you need to progress further, you're going to pick up that heel and then just come onto the balls of the opposite foot. Nothing else changes. I'm still in neutral. I'm still applying gentle pressure onto that leg. If that's still enough, if you still want to go forward, that's fine. You can pick up this leg. Notice how my back pushes down? That's okay. You may need to press your back down to come into position. But what's important is that once you're got hold of that leg, from here, readjust. And see how I've got a good grip on my hand now, but as soon as I tuck my tailbone, my fingertips will slide away. That's fine. Just think, neutral spine. My foot is still flexed, and then I can even pull this leg in and push this one away, and holding it here. My head is down, my neck is in neutral. I'm not lifted. If you have to lift, take your foot down and stay here. So these are my tips on how to achieve an effective and safe figure 4 stretch, which is super awesome for the hips. Thanks for watching.